Hello everyone, we are 4 minutes away from starting the stream. Hope everyone's having a great day. I got a couple of guests with me and we're going to check your microphones. Drew,
Yes.
you are loud.
Am I loud? I'm sorry, chat. I'm sorry.
Go again.
Yes.
That's better.
Is that better? Good.
Hey, you have such a resonant voice.
Yeah, thank you.
It's like
Thank
you're a
you.
man. Mackenzie, how you doing, man?
Heyo, I'm
All
good.
right. All right.
Thank you.
We got voices. All right, cool. We will see you in just over 3.5 minutes. All right, bye. Hello everyone, and welcome. I was just checking if George had actually unmuted my microphones. He did. Welcome to State of the Game 148. How's everyone doing today? I'm doing great. I asked myself a question. How you doing, guys?
Good. How are you doing,
good.
Hamish?
I'm doing real good. I have a lot of adrenaline. Not
Yeah.
gonna lie, because I'm excited about today.
Get amped up.
Yeah.
Good.
Today we're talking about like factions and all that sort of stuff. So we've got a new guest, Mackenzie. First time here.
Yes, it is. Excited to be here.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Yeah?
Yeah, ready to talk about factions.
Nice. So just for the people who haven't had a chance to be
Mm-hmm.
introduced to you before, who are you and what do you do at Massive?
Yeah, so I'm a game designer. I work on NPCs and AI with Drew. So that means working on like the factions, on bosses, on hunters, other exciting stuff. Yeah.
All right. Drew, we know you. We don't have to worry.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've done that like a lot of times recently. Although, I do want to do it again because the heavy discount on the Division game has brought heaps of new people into the fold.
Yeah. It's been
welcome.
super cool.
If
Yeah,
you are
welcome.
new here, welcome to the stream. Hope you are having a good time. Not just also the stream, but welcome to the game. It's
Yeah.
really cool. If this is the first time that you've ever played the Division, it's cool that
Or maybe you played
enjoying
Division
it.
1, haven't played Division 2 yet.
Yeah, it's
I don't
true.
That's cool.
Been really, I find it very heartening to look at people's chats, and I was in Neuro's chat earlier, and she was like, "Oh, there's so many new people coming into my chat who have never played the Division before," and it's like,
That's super cool.
and she was like, "Oh, well, it's very cool that everyone's very welcoming. So keep being a good community, and we're
Yes.
very proud of you, and it's very nice."
Good job, chat.
Yeah, good job, chat. Keep being cool. All right, we're good. So we're going to dive into all of the NPC, the factions, and all that today. But before we do all of that, we're going to just hit up with the priority alerts. George, yeah, he was paying attention. Let's go. All right. So today, here's what you need to know. There has been no maintenance this week, although people should be playing episode 3. If you aren't doing that, go do that. There have been some weird walls. These aren't the invisible walls from before.
No, they're not. The invisible walls have become real physical walls. No. That's, no, absolutely. So I can actually speak to that.
Yeah,
so
can
that's
you-
something, I can explain why it happened, but,
All right.
but it will be fixed in our next update, which is Title Update 8, which is releasing, of course, with Warlords of New York on March 3rd.
Cool.
So,
All right, we've seen also a lot of conversation about PS4 pre-order. We're working on making that available for PS4 owners. The game is also launching on PS4 on March 3rd. The early purchase bonus that comes with buying the game will be available to all players that buy the game before April 3rd. So you have a month. You're not going to miss out, but we will update you on the PS4 pre-order situation as we get more information. The Twitch drops stuff that happened, we were not really involved in that, so that's something that we are kind of hearing from other people, but we know that a lot of people in chat have been asking about Twitch drops and what happened. The tactical integral helmet, you should have got from that. We don't want anyone to feel like they missed out on such cool apparel. We think that there was a big issue with the communication about the Twitch drop stuff. Where people weren't clear on if they needed to link their Ubisoft and Twitch accounts through the Drops Register link. But since we're celebrating the announcement of Warlords of New York, we are seeing a lot of players jumping into the game right now, and I think it's a cool thing.
Yeah.
We're going to just give that to everyone.
yeah.
I think that's the right thing to do. So
I think so,
that's,
too.
That's a good thing. So everyone's going to get those things that were attached to the Twitch drops, just they're going to show up on your account. I think it is provided that you log in before March 3rd. So if you log in before the launch day of Warlords of New York, you will get those drops. So maybe you missed the stream and you're like sneaking in there.
But you should check out the stream.
You should check out the stream
Yeah.
anyway. Yeah. That's true.
There's some
but
cool stuff in there.
we don't want anyone to miss out, so you will get those if you log in before March 3rd. Okay? Now, it's on you if you do not log in before March 3rd. We're not going to... I don't know, maybe that'll change. But it'll be March 3rd. So you have no excuse. You have 2 weeks to log in. So do that. And then, no excuse. So the hashtag #FindTommy thing that's been running on Twitter the past 24 hours.
I was going to say, it
not long.
was not very long. It was not very long.
So I think everyone's found they've got shots of all the things. So there's going to be a weapon skin going out to the whole community as well, an additional weapon skin. So that's very cool. I don't know, do we have an image of the weapon skin? No, we do not. But it's cool. Ella's nodding her head. Yes. Is it cool? Is the weapon skin cool or dumb? Ella says it's cool.
It's cool. It's on Ella.
So it's cool.
If it's not cool, it's Ella's fault.
She's a real trendsetter. Ella knows what's cool. So if it's not, you have to @ Ella and be like, that weapon skin is trash. All right. Neon Essence says it's dope.
Nice.
There you go. That's all of the priority alerts for today. So now on with the developer interview. Oh wait, other side. Yeah. Hi, developers.
Hello.
How's it going? So, what's the topic of discussion for today? I'm just testing you. Come on, have you
I don't
forgotten?
know. Why are you here, Mackenzie?
I don't know.
Talking about factions.
Actually, before we get into that, I
Oh,
want to talk
right.
about the Black Hunter uniform.
Oh, yes,
Do you
let's
know
talk
about
about that. Absolutely.
So
Yes.
we know there's two outfits that have been shown. The Stinger
Yes.
one for the friend referral
Yep, which
program.
is the black and yellow hunter uniform.
What can you tell us about the black one, the Covert Hunter one?
That is really cool.
Yeah.
So that's going to actually be available in the store, and it's going to be available in the apparel caches.
Okay, cool.
So if you really wanted a hunter outfit, or maybe you want a different hunter outfit like the all black one, yeah, you'll be able to get that soon.
and also you don't need friends.
And you don't need friends.
Good news,
So-
everyone.
Good news.
No friends required.
That's my my cup of tea there.
Me too. No, that's really cool. And like, I think as soon as the hunters in the Division 1 came into, canon,
Yeah.
people were always like, I want to be a hunter.
Yeah.
So it's really cool to be
Yeah,
able to
you
see it.
can. What's going to be cool?
Mm-hmm.
Hunter fighting hunter.
Ooh.
That'd be cool.
We might talk a little bit more about hunters today, but we'll.
Nope. That's it.
That's it.
No more
Rude.
hunters.
Rude. All right. Okay. Like I said before, the Stinger Hunter outfit is available with the friend referral program that is live right now. If you invite other agents to the Division 2 and you play 3 missions together, you get the Stinger Hunter outfit and other rewards. We have seen people reporting issues with receiving them. It can take up to 24 hours until you get those rewards. If you have not received those rewards within 24 hours after finishing those missions, please contact UB customer support and they will try and sort that out for you. Do we have any flashcards of that? No. You've seen it online. It's cool. It's actually
It is cool. It's really cool.
the Stinger Hunter outfit.
Yeah.
If you played the Division 1, is a similar visual look to the Stinger weapon skin that you get from Hornet from the Russian consulate?
Is that right?
Chat, am I right?
Is
Chat,
that right?
Chat, just check in on that with me. Am I completely drunk?
So-
Wait, yes!
That is amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Okay.
Right, cool. See,
A
I
lot of
played that game.
people seem to be confused about the Black Hunter outfit. So yes, it is available in the store, but you can also earn it by getting the apparel caches. So
Sure.
that doesn't require money, right?
Yes. Someone said I was drunk. Rude. I don't even drink, actually.
He's not that drunk.
Oh, did I say that? I am drunk. All right, let's go on to factions. Drew, can you hit us with the top notes? So we've talked about
Yeah.
returning factions.
Absolutely.
What do people need to know?
Yeah. So if you haven't heard the news already, so with the Warlords of New York, we're going back to New York, but a different part of New York, right? Lower Manhattan. And it just so happens that in Lower Manhattan, the Cleaners and the Rikers have made their way down there, right? So this is 8 months after the events of Division 1. The Cleaners have kind of evolved a bit since then. So they have some new toys. They definitely are more battle-hardened. They're more tactical than they were before. They're a lot more threatening and menacing. Then we have the Rikers. With the death of LeRae Barrett, they kind of have kind of also evolved, but in a slightly different way. They basically have recruited from kind of all around the kind of disparate groups, and they have kind of formed a brand new faction that has kind of all rallied behind the Rikers flag and kind of ethos, so to speak. So their faction in particular has changed quite a bit from when we last saw them. So there's Mackenzie's going to be talking about all the cool new skills and tools and kind of ways of fighting that are very different than Division 1, as you might remember them.
Yeah. So,
And
sorry,
last but not least, we actually have the remnants of the LMB. I didn't want to forget that.
okay.
So the LMB have been absorbed by the Black Tusk. Essentially, they've joined them. You know, they're the kind of highest bidder with the most resources. They look like the winning team if you are an LMB soldier after Colonel Bliss's death. Spoilers, by the way, Division 1 spoilers. Oh man. So yeah, the Black Tusk have now been reinforced with a couple new archetypes, and they've also been experimenting a little bit with some new big dog variants as well.
Cool.
Yeah.
Don't call them that.
Warhounds.
We'll get sued.
Warhound.
Thanks. All right. So, yes, we're totally covered now.
This was my last day on the job, guys.
Yeah,
it
see
was, it was
ya.
great knowing you.
Sorry, Boston Dynamics. Drew actually loves you.
We love you.
All right. So, we have Mackenzie here to talk about the nitty-gritty about all of the mechanics and that sort of thing. So, let's start with the cleaners, because I think a lot of people may have the feeling that when we say, oh, we're bringing back factions, that it's like, oh, just copy and paste them from the Division 1, right? But you've actually done work and job things.
Yes.
So I imagine that's probably a little harder than that.
Yes, indeed. So yeah, we tried to keep like the same feeling that the cleaners had before, but still spice up the gameplay. So I'd say that there's kind of like 3 legacy archetypes, which is the assaults, which you can see in Coney Island, same with the rusher. So those have very similar gameplay as they did in Division 1 with the flamethrower for the assaults and the shield and axe for the rusher. And you got the heavy flamer tank, who's like super similar to how they were in the first game.
Okay.
And then the other archetypes are new.
But I will say, right, like beneath the hood, we kind of mentioned this on one of the previous Day of the Games, that while we have like the assault, it still has the underbarrel flamethrower, still has the tank in the same place, right? Like they obviously have a brand new like mesh in there, dressed for summer and things like that. But
Sorry, I'm just going to check Mackenzie's mic. You can keep talking, Drew. it's
yeah.
fine.
So the like the important thing is that like with
Don't mind
Division
me.
2, we made a lot of AI changes and like a lot of AI improvements, right? Like we took all the learnings that we took from the hunters in Division 1 in survival, and we used it as the basis of our AI in Division 2. So we actually have built the cleaners then off of that foundation. So even though you know, kind of on paper, they may sound similar, they're actually really, really different under the hood. And you'll see finding them that they have a lot more kind of tactical kind of abilities and awareness than they did before, and new strategies that they've employed.
Cool. We should have
Is
Mackenzie's
it
microphone.
good now?
We should. Yeah, we're definitely better.
Oh, the mic works. And the other thing I wanted to mention was with the tank, right? The heavy flamer
Yes.
with the flamethrower. Well, on surface, you're like, oh, okay, it's a big dude with a flamethrower. I've seen that before. Well, actually, we have a destructible armor system, which, of course, means each individual piece can be broken off, and you can eat through that and damage them. But also, we have like the weak point logic as well. So each weak point ties to a certain ability, which we can talk about later as well.
Okay, cool.
So like there are lots of changes.
What are your favorite changes to the cleaners and the biggest ones? So for people who are well versed in the Division 1, what
Yeah.
are some of the things that you think will take them by surprise?
I think the jumper car is definitely a kind of wild thing. I think it's called the Firebrand in game. So the sniper for the cleaners deploys this little RC car that follows them around and sits on cover near to them. And if you get too close and try to rush them, the car launches itself at you. I
Okay.
think,
It's
it
kind
was-
of cute.
Yes. It was in the trailer that we showed last week. You probably might have seen like an RC car flying through the air, and you're like, what is that?
All right, I think your microphone's dying, but just get cozy with Drew. And
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
sort it out.
we can lean in and get cozy. Aw. Yeah.
Listen,
I think Hamish is gonna change Mackenzie's mic.
I'm gonna give him mine.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, don't
Um,
worry.
yeah.
We'll sort you out. All right, you're hosting.
So what do you want to talk about, chat?
No,
Ask all the questions. I'll answer them right now.
All right.
Okay. We good now?
Let's see.
Yeah, let's just take this one off.
Let's see.
All right, can you just I'll
Yeah.
pull that one out. All right.
Eagle bear, will there be? Yeah. Okay. Hamish, is it okay if I talk about the Eagle Bear? No, I'm just kidding. By the way, there will be the new version of the raid will drop a Eagle Bear 2.0. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but Hamish isn't stopping me, so I'll say that now.
Use this to your advantage.
Yep.
No, other things. So the
Yes.
jumper car.
The jumper cars, that's pretty crazy. The engineer for the cleaners, in the first game, they set up a turret that was like a machine gun. But this time around, we wanted to do something that was more napalmy, more like kind of with the cleaners' ethos of
Yeah.
fire and everything.
Yeah, that's right.
So they have a, we don't really have an official name for it. We've been calling it Napalm Goo, which is a kind of weird name, but
It's a bit of a dev term, I would say.
yes, very dev.
Yeah.
I don't know what
Yeah.
you'd call it in reality. Probably just napalm. But the idea of it is that it's cover denial. So we've had a lot of things in the game in the past that are aerial denial. So like
Yeah.
a Molotov, like the bomb drone for the cleaners also has that kind of aerial denial. They deny a whole area, whereas the turret focuses on denying cover pieces. So when the shell explodes that's launched from the turret, it globs napalm onto the nearby cover, and you can't enter that cover nearby. You can
Yeah.
still kind of run by it, so it's not invalidating a whole area. It's specifically the cover.
Yeah.
All right.
It's kind of hard to describe without seeing it, but it does lead to definitely different gameplay.
Yeah. I
That-
think we're getting some chat saying that our mics are too loud now.
Yeah, we had some hardware issues over there,
Yeah.
so now we're kind of adjusting. It looks like we're getting it under
We're good.
control. Cool.
Yeah. So I think, like, to recap, right? This is the point where it would be amazing to show you guys some lovely pictures. Unfortunately, we don't have any.
Yeah, that's why you gotta like do some charades.
Yeah, exactly. Do some charades. But basically, right, so like to really kind of diversify the faction and kind of provide more kind of interesting challenges, like to things that you haven't seen before, right? Like the cleaners have a, if you recall, in Division 1, they had a little RC car with a little explosive that came and it would explode into fire, right? Well, that controller archetype has now upgraded to a flying drone that actually drops a bunch of bombs, right?
Yeah.
That's the
That's
thing
cool.
that Mackenzie was alluding to before. So that's like brand new. The engineer that Mackenzie was talking about before, they used to have a machine gun turret. Well, now they've developed this brand new kind of napalm that like sticks you in place and burns you and denies cover. And so like that's their like brand new turret. And of course, it has a weak point that you can shoot and it goos everyone. And
Nearby, yeah.
Goo is yep, that's the
Is that
term.
the technical term?
So like there's lots of cool things like that. So I'm super excited to see players, I think, interact with that stuff.
Yeah, and like the factions between the clears and Rikers, like you're gonna change what skills you use as well.
Yeah.
Like you really have to change how you fight them because the cleaners, like almost all of them, have a weak point. So using something like the Burster Firefly or
Yes.
using a marksman rifle to really be able to hit those in one shot
That's cool.
is really important because if you let all of them keep on using their skills, like it's gonna be a lot to handle.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right. On that note, how does that differ from the next faction we'll talk about, which is the Rikers?
Yes. So the Rikers, the cleaners are a ton of explosions, aerial denial, that kind of stuff, whereas the Rikers are a lot more kind of about teamwork and flanking you, and it's a lot more about gunplay with them.
Okay. So differences between the way we've seen the Rikers in the past and the Rikers now, what would you say the key ones for that would be?
I'd say like really trying to focus on that prison theme and like really trying to make gameplay that fits around the fact that they like came from Rikers and they stole all their weapons from the police and military and yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because obviously, like at this point, right, like you're not fighting people from Rikers, right? It's all about this kind of mythology that developed around the Rikers. Like the Rikers are no longer this group of people like Luray Barrett, who actually was from Rikers. But it's about kind of this mythology that grew over 8 months about what they did and who they are. So you get a bunch of recruits that are coming into this faction, and they're, to kind of fit this theme of what they think the Rikers are, and they're like, oh well, like, dual wielding SMGs and like, nail bombs and like, I mean, they're like bringing these kind of things into the fray, which the Rikers clearly didn't have in the first game.
Okay, so archetypes specifically, you talk about nail bombs.
Yes,
Who has those?
the thrower. So they throw
Okay.
out proximity detonated nail bombs.
What is their fascination with nails? Because I've also noticed that the tank has a nail gun now.
Yes,
Yeah.
correct. Yeah.
When they're not killing people, they're building things.
Yeah. I saw some footage of that earlier. It's crazy, and he's just like going ham with like a nail gun and a shield.
Yeah.
It looks dope.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Yeah, just like trying to really contrast the two, like fire versus nails and kind of like spike, like just really trying to give them a unique feel. Because I think people really attached to that in the first game with the cleaners, like the idea of the napalm and the fire, and trying to give the Rikers their own kind of version of that.
Nice. So there's also a couple of things. You got what's happening with the heavy weapons Riker
Yes.
archetype?
So they set up a stationary MG. So they have this gigantic machine gun on their back. They place it down, they can use it, and so can anyone else in their fire team. So it becomes like a team play thing that even if they die, one of their teammates is going to hop on the machine gun and use it.
Which obviously, right, like with the addition of the sticky bomb in Warlords of New York,
Yep.
hey, I know people like to go to this machine gun to use it. Maybe I'll put my sticky bomb there and blow it up in the dude's face when he goes over to try to use it.
Smart. That was my next question.
You could do some
actually.
fun
Are there
things
any
like that, right?
strategic ways to deal with those certain archetypes?
Like
Someone's asking if it's
100%.
Tachanka.
Very, very similar to that. Yes, I love Siege.
Yeah, there you go. There's also some of the older Rikers have been sticking around, and you have some of the OG Rikers.
That's right.
But
OG
they're
Rikers.
a little different, right? Like what's
Yeah.
happening with those?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the leader archetype, as we call them. So they're the OG Rikers. They've been around since the beginning. And so they're very elite with how they act. They use cover a lot better. When they fire, they really think about that, and they cover their teammates.
Okay.
And they also give everyone in their fire team an overheal buff.
They're very inspirational.
Yes,
Yeah.
they're very
Or
inspirational.
They have extra inspiration die.
So, if you remember in Division 1, right, we had the leader archetype in the Rikers,
Yeah.
right? And, I mean, I can say this because I designed it. It maybe wasn't
Humble
super,
brag. Whoa.
no, I was going to say it wasn't maybe super clear what they did. So, it's, if we were to be a little critical of ourselves, maybe, or if I'm being a bit critical of my own work,
Right.
I don't think it was always super clear what they did, right? You saw the little kind of UI flashing, and then what does that mean?
Sure.
Now,
Yeah.
in the background, and probably a lot of our hardcore fans know that it meant that like they got super aggressive, but it was like really hard to read, right? And so this is kind of an homage to that leader, but done in a way that reads a lot better. It's a lot more understandable. If you kill the leader, that goes away.
Yeah.
So there's a lot more kind of like counterplay that you can do there, and target prioritization and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was just going to ask, like, from a mechanical standpoint, what does this inspiration thing mean for the other cleaners? Oh, no, other Rikers around
Other
the
Rikers,
leader.
yes. So when they're alive, everyone in their fire team gets overheal. So you
Okay.
they get that green bar of extra health that you have to eat through first. And so that means you really want to kill them first. Because otherwise you're going to be spending a lot more bullets on everyone else.
All right.
Yeah.
Then what happens when you kill them? Does their overheal go away?
It goes away right away onto those other people.
They lose their temporary hit die. That is cool.
Yeah.
All right. I like it.
Yeah.
Is there anything else with the Rikers that is a real standout for you?
Can I tell you my favorite thing
Yeah, please.
to do against the Rikers?
Yes.
The tank, he's got a big shield with a flasher on it, right? And he's got the nail gun. My favorite thing to do in the world is to hit that flasher enough times, because it's a weak point, and destroy it, and it blinds him, because video games.
Because, wait.
That makes sense, don't worry about it. And then it blinds everyone behind him too. So if you line it up perfectly, because he constantly kind of wants to get closer in like close space, because that nail gun needs to be a little bit closer, you can kind of time it so you hit him, and blind him, and then blind everyone else, and then you can just sweep up everyone.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
It's
like
pretty
that.
fun.
it's really fun.
All right, moving on. So the Black Tusk have, oh, I was going to say new recruits, but I guess they're not recruits. They're like
Kind of.
kind of elite, like
New, old recruits. Yeah.
they're found on legendary missions. The Black Tusk have also kind of assimilated some LMB members. We've talked about
Yes.
these before. What are the LMB units that have now taken up with the Black Tusk?
So yeah, we have the Rusher from the LMB coming over. So that's the one who, from afar, uses their assault rifle, and once they get close, they switch to a shotgun, and they throw a flashbang in your face when they get close.
That's smart.
Yes,
Yeah.
very smart.
I think that's elites only, right? That throw the flashbang.
Yes, sorry, yes, only the elites
Yeah.
throw the flashbang. But because they're the new Rusher, that means that the Rusher that we had before with the endgame, the drone operator, as we're calling
Yeah.
it now, they're kind of shifting to that new archetype, so you won't see them as frequently.
Right. So that means essentially, right, less suicide drones when you're fighting in the Black Tusk.
Okay.
Yes.
Fewer suicide.
But they still exist. So
They
the drone
still-
controllers are still there.
They are still there, but you'll see a lot less drones for sure.
All right, what's happening with the sniper for the Black Tusk?
Nothing that I know of.
So the taser
The
drone.
support is maybe what you're thinking of,
The
or
support.
I see taser drone.
no? Taser drone.
What is that?
The taser drone is the drone the snipers always have.
So that's
I'm
not
not
it.
sure what that
Oh,
means.
if you're thinking
In your
about
note?
I just
Like-
have it written down.
maybe the Rikers sniper who has a taser
Oh, right.
gun,
Maybe that's what that is.
maybe that.
And
Yeah.
a giant shield.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Okay.
The Riker sniper has a shield, so they are a sniper who does not snipe from cover.
Okay.
So they kind of really can. You have to be alert for them because they're going to be sniping from places that you don't normally expect a sniper to be at.
Okay. Black Tusk medics, though. Is that
Support.
Support.
support? Okay, so it's written. It's written as medic here. I'm gonna blame.
Good job, George.
Damn it, Chris.
I'm just kidding.
No. No, that's cool. So,
This is
so
not George's fault.
what's
at all.
happening with
George is
the
good.
support?
Yes. So that's the LMB kind of support. So they
Okay, yeah.
deploy a support station and it heals everyone who's nearby.
Yeah.
The elite version gives overheal to it, so you're definitely going to want to prioritize killing the support station.
Yeah.
But if you do not destroy the support station and you let it live and kill everyone else, it drops medkits.
Ooh, that's
So
pretty cool.
There is a bonus to it.
It's similar to, like the outcast support, who lays down the little ammo crate that you can shoot. Otherwise, people like get the ammo and can use it against you. Or if you preserve it, you get special ammo yourself from like going over to it. So
Yeah.
it's like a similar idea, but with medkits.
Yeah.
And we've also got the controller. Is that what it's called? For the Black Tusk?
That's the drone operator who
The
got
drone-
pulled over.
Okay.
Yes. We got
Wait.
the two new warhounds,
Who
though.
who has the mini tank?
That's the controller.
That's the
Okay,
control.
okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay. Yeah. All right, gotcha.
Yeah.
The two new warhounds.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tell us about those because you mentioned them on the last stream, but maybe
Yeah.
we didn't go in depth on those. Mechanically, what did those do?
So there's the Grenadier Warhounds. So they move around. They move to a new position, fire a volley of 3 grenades at you. Explosive for the normal version, shock grenades for the elites. And then they move to the next spot and do it again.
Dude, that's brutal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow,
And
okay.
they have a weak point on their back that you can shoot to disable them and make them fall to the ground, and then you can unload on them.
Good to know.
Yes.
Well, anything else of note for the Black Tusk? Do you think? Obviously, there's the.
Oh, there's the other Warhounds, the minigun one.
Oh, okay.
And they move around a ton. They basically never stop moving. And they have this gigantic machine gun on their back that they just keep on unloading at you. And
Strategically, how do you deal with that?
it's a lot about like avoiding exposure.
Okay.
And they have these really big red weak points on their legs that you can shoot to disable them.
That'll stagger them, or like.
Make them collapse to the ground
Oh,
for a
perfect.
while.
All right.
Yeah.
So there's no like different ways to kind of interact and fight with the different warhounds. So that kind of, waiting for the weak point to be exposed kind of challenge of the original warhound is now a lot more varied, right? Because you can now skill shot in the back for the one, the knees in the other. So like it'll hopefully provide a lot more variety and really kind of refresh some of the Black Tusk encounters. Because like after a year of fighting Black Tusk and the same encounters over and over again and the invasions, it's kind of nice to inject some, not only some more humans, right, the support and the rusher, but also just some new variants of old favorites like the Warhound.
Okay.
Yeah.
We also sorry, just while we're still talking about Black Tusk, what were you going to say?
Oh, I was gonna say I don't think I've seen it yet, but I'm really excited for when we have all 3 Warhounds in a single beat, because that'll be absolute
happen.
madness.
Is it possible, like based
Oh,
on
yeah.
spawn logic, like it could
I think
actually
it
happen?
is possible.
Yeah.
There's like a very small chance of it happening,
Yeah.
Okay.
but then you have like the sniper who you have to need to avoid exposure from. You have the grenadier who keeps on launching grenades at you, and then you have the minigun who keeps on trying to flank you. It'd be
Okay.
madness.
I would love to see that.
Sounds like a good legendary difficulty thing.
Oh, Alice says she's seen it. Was it brutal?
2 snipers and 1 of each of the other.
Oh wow. Okay. Okay. It sounds brutal.
Yeah.
Nice.
We also mentioned in a previous stream the new friendlies, the peacekeepers, but we didn't really talk about how they work or why they're not as bad as the JTF.
They're better than JTF.
All right.
Yeah.
But how, Mackenzie? Did you work on the peacekeepers, or is that different?
Not. I mean, like.
I worked a bit on them, I think a while ago,
Yeah.
but I'm sure Mackenzie did some work as well.
Okay.
I
But-
mean, it's
TLDR, they're better than the JTF.
Yeah.
They
Yes.
don't trust you, but
Yep.
like you want to make them your friends.
yeah, that's right. And they also tend not to wear shorts and flip flops around, so that's helpful. They are dressed and ready for combat.
That makes sense. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's always a good thing.
Nice.
Always a good thing.
All right. So we're going to be sticking around for.
Do we want to talk about Legendary?
Yeah, please.
Yeah?
Yeah, go
Can
for
I
gold.
just insert that
I
in
mean,
here?
because it is oddly relevant with the Black Tusk discussion. Yes? All right.
So, like the idea behind the legendary difficulty, which again, this is coming with Warlords of New York. It's for level 40 only,
Yeah.
and it's basically the kind of highest difficulty kind of combat-based experience in the game. And so we created a brand new kind of basically faction, really, that's still part of the Black Tusk, but they are. But they have like brand new AI, right? And so what we did for them is we took the core essence of every single archetype and we just tried to kind of twist it in a more challenging and difficult way.
Evil.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so I think I mentioned this last time. So like the tank, for example, instead of having a healing hive on his back, he has a wasp hive, and he always wants to close the space and like have the wasps kind of attack you, right?
Yeah.
And so basically we have all the variants of the Black Tusk there, but they all have their kind of evil twins dressed in white.
Yes,
So,
they do.
Yes.
We don't have it to show you today, but I particularly love those dudes with the floppy white hats.
Yes.
I don't know who they are,
They're good.
but they look like
They're
really.
good.
They look like
Yeah.
Controllers.
cricket players
Yeah.
from like 50 years from now.
Yeah.
They're
And
badass.
I love their outfit, which I don't know. Maybe you can get.
What?
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe if you beat like a legendary mission or something, maybe you can get something.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, dropping the secrets. I like it. So we're going to be sticking around for a few more minutes. If you do have any questions about factions or NPCs and that sort of stuff, we'll do the best we can. Just as an update, we are 2 weeks away from Warlords of New York actually launching, so
Yeah. It's super exciting.
exciting.
And only because Splinter Shield asked. So we mentioned before that there will be new hunters to find, or maybe find you. And yes, I've seen the question a couple times, are they New York only, or will there be some in DC as well? And the answer is yes, there will be ones in New York, but there will be some added to new ones in DC as well. So
On that note,
I don't want to say anything more about it,
no, I
but they're
think
pretty cool.
Thylander did say some things on
Did he?
bombshell jackets. Can we
Don't listen to
hey,
that. Oh no.
he was on their
Actually,
show.
you should listen because it's
Oh,
good.
you should listen to the show.
Yep, it's
He
fantastic.
might even talk about that a little bit more than he should, but it's in there.
Yeah.
So go and check it out. That plug didn't cost you anything. So, we're going to keep an eye out for some questions, but I do want to talk about some clarifications about DZ PvP. So,
Yeah, DZ.
so bracket-wise, how much do you know about this? Because I have
Yep.
some things written.
Yep.
But the level 1, 30, 40 bracket thing?
Yep,
Okay.
level 30 and level 40 brackets. Yep, absolutely.
That's it?
Yep.
Cool, got it.
Is there anything? Do we need more clarification on that?
It says here you can still invite lower level players as a level 40 player and
Absolutely.
play together. Level 30 players will be scaled up
Yep.
in health, armor, and damage, but not other attributes.
That's right. So basically, across our game, we have co-op kind of like buffs, right? So we always allow you to play with your friends, kind of no matter what level you are. So if you're level 30 and your friend is level 5, you can play together, and the level 5 friend isn't going to die instantly or not be able to deal any damage. So we basically behind the scenes kind of give you a buff, but we also make sure that the loot that you get is also relevant for you. So even though you're level 5 and you're fighting, maybe level 30 enemies or whatever, you're still getting loot at level 5 that you can equip. So it's
Gotcha.
not like you're doing that. So those same rules apply to like Dark Zone when you join with a friend or whatever. So if you are level say 30 and you're with your level 40 friend, then yes, we're going to give you that buff behind the scenes so you can compete. Now, it's not actually buffing you all the way to level 40, so it's not like we're going to make you better than your friend who is level 40.
Yeah.
There's a slight difference,
Okay.
but it's almost there.
Okay. Shade levels. I've seen some questions
Yeah.
in there about that. Do either of you know if that's account-wide
Yes.
or character-bound?
So happy to say that the shade levels are account-wide.
Yes.
So, but you have to be level 40 to, of course, contribute to that. But yes, they're account-wide.
That's cool. You did a good thing with that, developers. I'm
Yes.
very happy.
Good work.
Well done, dev team. The question that I have here, and I saw someone bring it up in chat. I know we've addressed it, but I just want to restate. If there are any reasons to go back to DC as Warlords of New York
Yeah.
expansion owner,
Yeah, absolutely.
is there a reason to go back to DC?
So I think we'll probably talk about this next week on State of the Game with Yannick and Trick in more detail. But seasons is a big part of why you would go back,
Okay.
right? So like there is basically at the end of the Warlords of New York campaign, New York and Washington, D.C. are your playground.
Cool.
And there's lots of reasons to go in between. One, because seasons are going to take you to D.C., back to New York, and kind of all around. But also, of course, let's not forget, we have targeted loot. Targeted loot is going to say, hey, you want like ARs or something. That's in DC. Okay, you want like these certain brand or whatever. That's in New York right now. And so that also is going to drag you around. And then, of course, on top of that, we have our daily projects, our weekly projects, and those can be in kind of either place.
So yes.
So yes.
Cool.
That
I
was
like it.
that was a very lengthy way to say yes.
I like it.
I saw a question in there about the cleaners rushers being faster than they were in the base in the first division.
Is it true?
Yes.
They are currently in TU7. We have fixed that in TU8, so
Yep.
they are slower now.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah, I was playing episode 3 this weekend, and
they're real speedy.
yeah, they're a little quick.
That's
Yeah.
well spotted. Whoever in chat.
Yeah, that was good.
That,
That was good. Yeah,
that picked that up. I like
good
it.
eyes.
Can we? You have something else?
I was going to say there was a question related to levels and the raid. Level
Okay,
30
yeah,
and 40
yeah,
players.
no, good
I
question.
kind of answered that, but I think maybe just to be explicit,
Yeah.
if you are a level 40 player and you have a level 30 friend, you'll be able to play the raid together. So we basically take the higher level player and you're playing that raid. You'll be able to play together. We'll scale you. All of that will be fine. So don't worry if your friend is level 30 and you're level 40. You'll be able to play together and even in the raid.
Yeah. We'll have to get some, info from Andrada about what that means for rewards and that sort of thing.
So those will scale with you as well.
Okay.
So you'll get the level 30 World Tier 5 rewards if you're there. and then otherwise you'll get the level 40 rewards if you're level 40.
Okay, so the loot tables will look at you
That's
to,
right.
to see what level you are.
That's right.
Cool. All right. Well, again, we don't know what's on the level 40 loot table.
They've thought of everything.
but we'll
Good
see.
job,
Um,
Ada and team.
Very cool. All right, we do have some agent highlights for the week. Can we take a look at those? Because I want to see some cool stuff. I'm super excited now that we have new things out in the world of the Division. People have
Yeah.
already started making cool new things, and I love it. What is the first one that we have? Ooh! Ooh, that Kina cosplay. That is dope. Area of the Fox.
That's so cool.
Always
Really
always
cool.
turns it
Yeah,
out, but
yeah.
that is particularly cool. I do also really like that you have paid attention to the direction of the lighting.
It's very good.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Touch.
That's pretty cool. I wish, yeah, Charlie FPG, that Keener is hot. Yeah, that's true. Actually, Cheshire put a tweet out before of like the reveal of
Yeah.
like when he takes his hood off.
Isn't that cool?
But she said it to some Marvin Gaye. Like, and I was like, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that's about right. Lighting is totally different. Okay, yeah, but the direction. Okay, yes, there is no rim lighting. You are being very pedantic, but come on. All right, that looks cool.
It does look cool.
That looks really dope. Awesome cosplay. And JC Denton, I'm going to say, or JCD Inton.
Check that.
That is really cool.
I would run from that.
Yeah.
That is some really sick painting. I really like it. Do you know what? That is giving me Darksiders vibes as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm like,
Totally.
That is really
That's a cool style.
Yeah, it's very. Who's the artist that did Battle Chasers?
I don't know.
Chat. Battle Chasers. You know? Come on. Joe Madeira.
Yeah, gotcha.
It's,
Yep.
it's Joe Mad style. Yeah.
Yeah.
Straight it. You know what's up. But it looks super cool. So I think that's a Reddit one, right? That's very cool. Yeah. See, chat knows what's up. That game is cool. If you haven't played it, have you? It's
Oh, yeah.
the turn-based. Yeah, it's very very cool. If you, I'll pimp it out. I don't care. It's a great game for Switch owners. Very very cool. I do want to give a shout out, and I asked George to include it, but he didn't because he's rude. Slow Penguin did a really cool Vivian Conley cosplay, like a couple of days after, and like
that was so
if you
awesome.
haven't seen,
That was so awesome.
yeah, Slow Penguin did some really cool photos, and
Yeah.
apparently George hates you. I guess
Oh man, George.
is that. He says, yeah, that's definitely it.
It's so good. It's so good.
I included her in the agent highlight.
Can you come and apologize, please?
I'm sorry.
No.
I'm sorry.
All right.
I
I don't. Oh yeah, you did. Makeup. Oh yeah, no. So on Area of the Fox's cosplay, makeup was done by Slow Penguin, and yeah, that's because she is a makeup artist and photographer, so that's pretty handy if you're into cosplay. Love it. People have been asking if there's a PTS for Warlords of New York, and that's a no. Correct. We do understand that might have some implications for, I know why people are asking that. Like, there's some big changes coming to the way the gear works. It would be really cool for them to test it. But no, because we, I guess, want people to experience it fresh, right?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, there's no early access. There's no PTS, right? Like we want people to. I mean, it's a narrative-driven campaign. And so we really, really, really want people to be able to experience the narrative kind of at the same time. We don't want that to be spoiled for people because there's some cool things that happen, obviously, and yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for people to play it. I played episode 3. Have you guys played episode 3 yet?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Those missions were real cool.
Yeah.
So I mean, I know you guys aren't level designers or mission designers and that sort of thing, but your cleaners showed up. So
Yeah.
what was that like?
That was really cool trying
Yeah.
to get those ones ready for it, and
Yeah.
I love how they like introduced them, the ambush of the cleaners.
Yeah, that's so
and
cool.
that space was really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and the areas were so cool, right? That was our, of course, our co-development partners, Reflections,
Yeah. Shout out to
that worked on
Reflections.
those missions, and they
Yeah.
they killed it, man. I mean, those were so cool.
Mm.
Yeah.
I mean, the haunted house in particular is just,
The vibe.
yeah. It was
Got to
very
find those
neat.
rats with the red eyes. You guys know about that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's for them. You don't know about this? Yeah, there's 4 rats with red eyes, and if you shoot each of them, it spawns a boss called Ratigan.
Yeah. It's
Wait, like.
there's 2 hidden bosses, I think, right? Is
There's
there
2?
another
I
one?
only know about that one.
Maybe it's only the one.
Oh.
Maybe
Spoilers.
there's only one.
Anyway, that's going to be all from us for today, because we are 13 days away from Warlords of New York. Next week we're going to talk about Seasons. I'm like, Seasons is going to be dope. Like I'm been seeing a few more things about, so much
Yeah.
so that my voice is like freaking out. Guys, guys,
Guys, you're causing Hamish to go through
Seasons!
puberty again.
I'm going to hit puberty real soon, by the way.
Yeah, it's gonna be great, man.
I like it. I
mean, it's
promise.
gonna be weird at first, and then it's gonna be great.
I'm turning 34 this year. This year is the year. Whew. It's going to happen.
It's gonna happen.
Guarantee it. Yes, Seasons are going to be really cool.
They're gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
And
it doesn't sound
next week
like
is gonna
big
be a
thing,
lot of
but
fun.
It's really cool.
Yeah, I think like in a way, like just saying Seasons, it kind of like discredits how much cool shit's gonna be in it. So
I think so. Like we were talking about a couple of those things before the stream that are coming through with Seasons, and you should be excited. Just going to say that. All right, that's going to be all from us for today. Thanks, Drew and Mackenzie, for joining today.
Yeah.
I hope it was okay.
it's great to be here,
You're right, good.
as always.
We'll be back next week with, you say, Trick and Yannick to talk
Trick
about
and Yannick, that's
Seasons. It's going to be a lot of fun. So make sure you come back next week, because that's going to be the last state of the game before Warlords of New York. So, all right, we will catch you again next Wednesday. And make sure you come back for gameplay streams and all that sort of stuff, because it's always fun to talk to you. All right, bye.
Bye. Take care.